できなけりゃ意味のねえ鉄の塊。俺の戦向きじゃねえか。
All right, so let's get to this bad boy. Immediately, Guts is clearly on a whole other level. Like, we've got, you know, the standard of quality that's being maintained as per the pop-up parade line. Everything is clean. I'm honestly not seeing any nicks or paint transfer issues like that. It's like, yeah, for the price as well, it's really nice. Another thing is, obviously, Berserker armor, very, very dark color palette. So the fact that they've got this variation of the cool tones, the warmer tones of the cape going, and then like this in-between thing for like the rock column. There's shading, like there's a sheen to the armor. The cross-hatching like is really reminiscent of the manga, which is super cool. So with the cape, I was kind of like, is there less detail? Not really sure, but it's pretty like, I don't know. I like that it like simulates a softer feeling compared to the rigidity, you know, of the armor. It's cool, it's cool. With pop-up parades, it is what it is, you know, in the best sense. It's just a nice standard figure of, you know, characters you like. But I really feel like with the Guts, the fact that, you know, they took a manga cover and then based the sculpt around it, like, you know, it already creates this cool, like, dynamic and, you know, really recognizable pose. Another nice thing, I don't know if this is going to be more commonly seen in certain pop-up parades, you know, just the standard size or the other bigger options, but, I mean, there are additional features, you could say. Like, it's not just him squatting on like the, you know, the usual standard base. They gave him a whole rock column, so that's already nice. You know, it adds height, it adds like something more visually interesting. And then, you know, got Dragon Slayer, obviously. I mean, you have to include it, but it's still nice. It's also, you know, it's removable. And then the last bit, you know, that everyone was like, whoa, what is that? Is, I mean, the LED like head. So it does come with instructions in the box, which is great. And then as for the light we just got the one that was recommended on the official product page. I'm just gonna turn it on right away. So push, so you can already see. Bam! It'll look cool it'll look cooler in the dark. So I've fangirled enough about this thing, so we do have to address, you know, some of the slight issues I'd say I'd have with it. They're not deal breakers, but I mean, it's worth talking about. And the first of them being, there's noticeably a lack of blood, you know, gore, violence, the themes that surround that huge center point of the entire Berserk story. The only other, you know, slight drawback is, I would say, the base, because it's just the standard, you know, pop-up parade design, hexagon, solid color. But I mean, at least they didn't, you know, go for like crimson or something that like stands out too much. It like actually flows really nicely with the rest of the figures, so it's a little nitpick, but not a huge issue. So overall, if we're gonna look at this guy in terms of one, the next, you know, big expansion of the pop-up parade series into, you know, larger figures, and then two, just as a Berserk figure in general, I don't know, I really like it on both aspects. I really am pleasantly surprised by this, because if we're being honest, you know, the standard of Berserk figures to me is Prime 1. Like, those aren't figures, those are statues, because they've got, you know, the paint job, the sculpt, the, you know, the size. They're centerpieces in themselves, but okay, realistically, like, I don't know where that's gonna go in my very small apartment. And two, I also need to pay rent, so for the price, it's like, ooh, okay, maybe someday, but for now, this Berserker armor Guts, like, it doesn't feel like a compromise, to be honest. Yes, it's a budget option, but honestly, it's got a lot of cool things going for it that I didn't expect to be in the final product, and that's really great. All right, so yeah, it's an awesome figure. I don't know, it speaks for itself. But do you agree? Disagree? Yell in the comments. But regardless, if you want to see more from Solaris Japan, please subscribe. We're making cool stuff. We also have TikTok and Instagram in between uploads to keep you busy. Lots of stuff. But for now, this has been Dana with Solaris Japan, and until next time, keep collecting.